Wednesday evening. We have 4 people now, so if anybody's in the chat,
you mentioned soup, and then people.
I mentioned soup, and everybody's like minestrone, little Campbell's choice, maybe a little.
I am actually making crock pot corn chowder for dinner tomorrow, so it's topical.
I'm making steak. On the other end of the
spectrum. Sounds so much better.
Hey, what's up, Chris? Yeah, Mr. Fuller's going his Pony Boy, The Outsiders look tonight.
Like I said, it was like this, like it gives up. So I'm like, a little water and a comb, no one will notice, and now everybody notices.
Gonna make that. I can't snap. I was genetically defective in learning how to snap, but it's like a jets.
Yeah, exactly. When you're a jet all the way from your first cigarette to your last dying day. I remember that from high school when I was on stage crew.
I acted, but I don't remember it.
And now someone's going to make a clip out of that, and I'll be embarrassed for the rest of my life.
Quit, Matt. Fall backwards. Fall backwards again. No.
Exactly.
Man down. Hi, everybody. We have a good show. Great show tonight, actually. We have Rhiannon Owens, who's backstage. We'll have her out in just a moment. I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're at 11 right now. And hey, Kang, how are you, sir? It's on the internet forever. Yeah, it is. It's memed. It's Benny Hill. You know, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Of Matt going up and down, up and down, up and down. But yeah, sorry, man. But yeah, we should have a good show, really good show. We're gonna have a good show tonight. Like I said, we have Rhiannon. She's backstage. She'll be out. Hey, Kellen, how are you, buddy? I'm glad you're able to join us. You're gonna see some really cool art tonight, man. We got a really great artist on tonight, so we're really excited about that. But yeah, no, it's been a busy week for me. It's busy week for everybody, basically. And also we've got the weather changing. So we're going to go ahead and jump on into it. I'm going to show real quick some stuff I got in today from Tony Perna. And I've been waiting for this. He did a really awesome job in coloring. I won on Marvel Madness MCU Josh's, Kellen's uncle, stream. And let me just go ahead and get my camera pulled up here real quick. So it takes a second to...
While you're doing that, I realize I didn't plan well. I have something at the top of the stairs I have to grab.
Oh, okay. Well, Matt's going to run away. But yeah, let me go ahead and make myself big real quick here. And that didn't work. That's the wrong camera. I swear, I was tinkering with this the other... Okay. I just don't know what I'm doing, guys. Sorry. Why is this not working? Matt, quick help. There we go.
Right.
All right. So I got this in. I won this during Josh's stream a few weeks ago. And I sent Tony a care package, and he colored it for me. And it looks phenomenal. So without ado, I'm going to go ahead and share that. That is a Venom sketch that he drew.
Love that.
I am super happy with that. The drool coming off the tongue, you know, the extra fluid coming off the back and the shoulders and the head. I mean, that's just Tony, chef's kiss, man. It's phenomenal. I love it, man. Thank you, sir.
Fluid makes every sketch better, right?
Yes. All sketches should have extra fluid on them. And then I got from a trade I did with Nord, with Fausto, this Eternals ink dual auto. And it's got Gemma Chan and the lady who played Sprite, Leah McHugh, out of 25. Nice. And he also sent me a film cell.
Very cool.
As well. So my wife really loved The Eternals. It wasn't my favorite Marvel movie. It was pretty good, in my opinion. It was better than some of the stuff like Ant-Man, Quantumania, and things like that we've had. But I'm interested to see how they go with the second round. I know they're making the second movie. So, but yeah, super excited about that, and I'll be putting that aside for her so she can enjoy it. So with that out of the way, I'm going to bring in our guest artist, Miss Rhiannon Owens.
Howdy.
Not Matt. My name is Rhiannon. Hi, Rhiannon. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to finally have you on.
Hi. Yeah, there were 3 Matts in here earlier, and I believe he's now watching.
Yes.
We chased him away. It was bad luck.
Yes.
One of these things is not like the other.
Ooh, a lady.
Episode, see? There we go.
Well, I don't know that I would say lady. I cuss a lot.
Oh, a sailor lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just try not to cuss too much.
We have one younger gentleman in the chat. That's about it. But if you're gonna have a tirade, just say earmuffs. We'll have an earmuff, and then you
I'll
can
just
go
mute
ahead.
myself.
There you go. Yes. She's like a Stevie Nicks, music video come to life. Basically, is how I view it whenever I see her on a live. You say you're gypsy.
You are officially my favorite.
I love Fleetwood Mac, so yeah.
So do I. So did my parents. And it's hilarious because they just announced that there's a Stevie Nicks Barbie. And when I tell you that my feed, my phone, and my email exploded, like I don't follow her on every platform. Oh my God. So literally I just put my phone on mute and put it down, and the next day I had like 83 notifications all about the goddamn doll. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's always those toys that you have little news alerts set up, and then your phone explodes one morning, and you're like, "What happened?" And it's like, "Oh shit! Now I gotta sell some more stuff to buy some more stuff."
Well, the doll's not even available for sale until November 10th. Yes, I looked it up, and it's only $55. So I'm like, "Oh, that's not bad," and it'll be at Target, and you can order it online or whatever. But was it 13 years ago when she was on American Horror Story?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she was going to be on American Horror Story, and she actually sang Rhiannon. And when I tell you, it was like, yes, I'm watching. Yes, I've seen it. Yes, I heard. Yes, I know. Yeah, yes.
Push the like 5,000 times.
I appreciate that people still think of me and associate me with that. It is very flattering, but at the same time, I just put my phone on silent and I'll just check it later. Thanks. Gotta go. Bye.
That show is still on, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're about to do another season, and there's controversy around it because of the strike.
Oh.
And Ryan Murphy went ahead and worked through the strike and actually involved one of the Kardashians.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife told me about that, and I was just like, well, I watched the one where it was like the apocalypse, I think, where they had the end of the world, and they tried to tie in, I think it's the witch storyline from New Orleans to it as well. Yeah. And I couldn't keep track. I mean,
I lost interest after that. I was like, I love that you're trying to tie everything in. That's kind of clever, but at the same time, I think you jumped the shark there, Murphy.
Yeah, TV shows, when they kind of go a little too long, they basically flounder. And a lot of shows I watched, like The Good Place, Parks and Rec, things like that, they got to the point where they knew they were kind of, recycling or doing clip shows. They're like, we got to stop, and they ended it. But I don't think Ryan Murphy's going to cut his paycheck anytime soon, honestly.
Well, it was. I felt it was the same way with The Walking Dead. They got to a point, and then it was like the governor, and then it was Negan. Oh, and now Negan's part of the cast, and they ended the show, but now they have 3 spinoff series. So it's like, we're never going away.
Yeah. Unfortunately. So we covered TV for our portion of the show. Now we should go into pop culture. No, I'm joking. We're not going to talk about Below Deck or Bravo or anything like that tonight, guys. So what we wanted to talk about is your art. It's phenomenal. We love it. We appreciate you coming on. I enjoy seeing new posts from you about the new stuff you've got coming out. And also, too, if you have the time, are you going to be able to draw something for us tonight, do you think? Or do you want to just go through your work and show some of the things you've done and, some of the pieces that you'd like to possibly, maybe if you have anything available to sell,
I'm always willing to sit here and doodle or work, but I tend to hyperfixate. So if I'm working, this is all you see the whole time. Look at her lovely scalp. As far as I don't have anything on hand, like, look what I found that's available. I am going to be working on an AP for Mr. Fuller here in the next week or two. And when I was going through stuff to show off, I found an AP that I guess I miscounted. I thought I had sold the last one, but I found one more Marvel Masterpieces 2023, 1, 2, whatever year.
I don't, 2049.
The latest one.
Yeah, the newest one.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm happy to talk. God knows if you've seen any of my other interviews, I will babble forever. So please keep me in check.
No problem. We babble too, so you fit right in. No worries.
Good.
And we can actually, if you want, we can just go to your Instagram too, and you can kind of show off some of your work, and we can talk about that.
Sure.
I really love that Black Panther you just did, where you only used, was it just you can only use a certain amount of colors for that as well? Was it 3?
Yeah. So, there's a backstory to this. In 2017, I was at Denver Comic Con before it got bought out by Fan Expo. And there was a representative from Copic Marker there, and they did this thing called the Copic Marker Challenge. So they handed us a small box that had a handful of art supplies in it, and we just had to create something that weekend before the show was over. So we had like 3.5 days. And then they were going to post them online, and it was up for, it was literally like fan vote. So whatever we drew, you could vote as many times as you wanted, which was great because I really leaned into that. And there were 5 of us. This was the summer that the Wonder Woman movie came out, and I think I did Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in grayscale marker. That was all I used, and I won. So they featured me regularly on their Instagram and their Twitter feed, which was just like free promotion, which was really great. It wasn't, card centric, but it was just like me and my art, which, any visibility was welcome, especially on, they had like 400,000 followers. So fast forward, like, I think it was 2019, right before the pandemic, they rebranded, and it went from just being Copic markers to being alcohol markers all across the world. And they started sending me free product every month. So I had the opportunity. I was part of a small list of artists in their queue where we would all get these supplies, and we would all do pieces with just these colors. And then they would post them throughout the month, which again was really great because it brought a lot of visibility, and there was people who would follow me from that. Well, they have rebranded again, and now they are pushing these new markers called Olo markers. And Olo, they're alcohol markers. They're just like Copics. There's a chisel tip and there's a brush tip. They cost around the same, but they hold more ink, and the refill cartridges are cheaper. So you actually end up getting more use out of a marker and more ink for a little bit less money. Now, here's what's really cool about that. This year, they did this thing where they reached out to a handful of us and said, hey, we want you to pick a month, and we want you to choose the 3 color palette for the month. And then we're going to do it throughout the year. It's going to be kept secret. You'll know ahead of time, whatever. But what was really cool about it was, I'm going to turn the blur feature off because I don't know if this is going to work or not. So
while you're doing that,
wait, I don't know if I can do that.
Can't be any worse than this. Come on.
I'm going to do a giveaway
I don't know
for everybody who's in chat today. So it's going to be thanks, Ree. So hashtag thanks, Ree.
Thanks.
So thank you for joining us. So people who are with us, if you have friends who are, not with us but want to get free stuff, let them know, and we'll give away some free stuff tonight. I've got some comics, and I've also got some other stuff to give away. So I've got a Scotty Young Venom comic to give away tonight. Nice. So, and if you want to enter, you can enter too.
I don't think I can unblur. I don't.
That's fine.
Look, I'm a tech dummy. I draw. I make pretty art. That's all I do. So anyway, when we did these things, they actually like printed, like the little packages have our picture.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, it's all blurry. I'm sorry. I got the background blurred, so it's like all blurred. But it has my picture on it and my name and a little bit about me, all that stuff. So this was 2 months before I did a TV Batgirl from the 60s in a Starfire with my little orange, yellow, and purple palette. Black and white are optional. And you can kind of fudge a little extra media in there because I ended up doing the Black Panther piece. I also did a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, and I used like a full palette for her skin, but everything else in the picture is just the 3 colors. But it's like literally every month that I get a package in the mail with free stuff in it, and then I just have to make one piece of art, and it could be as big or small as I want. And then I usually do comic centric stuff because then I can throw it in my portfolio, take it to a show. So I end up either selling it or, gifting it or whatever. So that Black Panther was the first one I did. Those were for September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that. That was a beautiful piece of work. Thank you for sharing that with us. But we got some new people in here. So, hey, Vantage Lord, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Bob. Hey, Nancy. Nancy's a friend of the channel. We always love having her in there and joining us. She's also super lucky. She has a Fred Ian Vision sketch. She got the 5x7 Fred Ian.
Nice.
Lucky. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a very beautiful sketch. She loves that. So, and thank you for sharing that with us a while back. We appreciate it. So, we got some hearts from her. But I want to show some of your work real quick. Let me go ahead and put this back on the screen. Let's see here. Go back. That's not it. That's me. There we go. So, if you guys can see, it's kind of small, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the page. So, this is Rhiannon's Instagram page. It's Rhiannon Druitt. So, that's her page, guys. And I have a link to in the description of the video. So, on the YouTube channel, in the description section, you should see links to Rhiannon's socials, so her Facebook page, and then also to her Instagram here with that killer mohawk. So you can't miss that icon there. Let's go ahead and just kind of go through some of her work real quick here. It's got this really cool Iron Man where she's got Rescue, and then Iron Man, and then War Machine. And was this from a set, or are these on just blanks that you have, or?
Those were actually from the first Finding Unicorn Infinity Saga set.
Okay. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of great artwork come out of those sets. So,
I had never drawn Rescue before. I think I had maybe drawn War Machine once in my life. And I've recently really fallen in love with drawing Iron Man. I like drawing metal, and I know this is going to sound really ridiculous, but when I am in a crunch, I will draw characters that don't actually have facial features. I will draw masks and machines and things like that. So I did, I think, 11 Iron Man and like 10 Spider-Man. But those are 3 of those cards from the first Finding Unicorn set. And then I just kind of put them together to make an image because they all go together. Okay.
I actually like that style, honestly. I love Emmanuel Vinafana, Enveal's work, and he does kind of similar where he'll just do kind of like facial profiles. Because, honestly, the amount of money that you guys are paid and the time crunch that you're in to do this work, I completely appreciate you doing any work, honestly. There are some artists that just, put pen to paper and that's it. And don't put any detail into it that I've seen, unfortunately. But then there are artists that, can't send in something that's not completely finished in their eyes, and that's how I view your stuff. It's always finished. It's always polished. It's always very nice.
Thank you.
So yeah. And these are phenomenal. Like, these are absolutely beautiful.
I had very little time to do those cards. They'd actually asked me to do 60 and I only did 41, but I did 39 of the 41 in 4 days.
Wow.
And they are all masks and metal. There were 6 or 7 Groots. I think I did 1 Rocket because it was all the fur and the texture. I did 2 Hulks, 3 Black Panther. Like, it was mostly because we got the project and it was like, hey, so we can draw whatever we want from the movies. And then 2 days later, it was, you can't draw Chris Evans or Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen. And then it was, you can't draw any actor likenesses. Don't draw Robert Downey Jr. It'll immediately get destroyed. And it was like,
so you have to kind of look at the comic book variations of the art of the characters. Yeah. It's always interesting. I hear the stories of like, we get the blanks, we're told we can draw this, and then like a few days into the actual process of doing the work, you're then given these addendums, where it's like, well, you can't do this, you can't do that to it, you have to change this, and it's definitely, I sympathize. It's frustrating. I work in IT support, but we do software development and also web development. So we kind of under the same, we're told to do a project in a certain way for web development. We can do this, and this. Well, you can't have a RSS news feed now. You can't have news articles. You can't link to this. You can't have this outside source. You can't have that. And it's always frustrating in any line of work when you're doing something and you basically are told after the fact, after you've already started a project and done something for quite a while, that you have to throw it all out, or you have to completely change it or erase the palette and go back to a point and start all over again,
But at least you're still getting paid, right?
I'm still getting paid. Yes. That's the only plus side of it, is it creates more work, but it's longer work for me. But for artists, it's the same guidelines, unfortunately, same pay rate, which we've discussed several times on this show. That is just kind of infuriating, and we also get infuriated when we hear these stories, people who collect sketches who just want to be able to support the artist. That's why I'm leaning more towards getting APs. I've reached out to a few artists I have some APs standing with, than actually trying to go after pack pulled sketches or buying on eBay. I'd rather get the art directly from the artist so I can actually pay you than, having to deal with that whole sorted mess, but I don't
appreciate that so much.
Yeah. If you really like an artist's artwork, like if you see somebody has a sketch of an artist that you love, they more than likely have AP blanks from a set they've worked on, even if it's an older set, or even if it's a set that's not even released yet. They can still draw on that set if you reach out to them. They just can't, have you show the work off until that set's actually released or ship you those APs. And look, she happens to have something in her hands right there. What might that be?
No,
a little
it's double blank. Like, those are awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. So, but it's
I think it was back in the Rittenhouse days when we were working on a project and we got the email about no more Fantastic Four. And it was literally, if you have drawn anything with Reed Richards, Sue Richards, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, Dr. Doom, Skrulls, Silver Surfer, and I think maybe 2 or 3 other characters, they were literally like, we need you to mail them to us now, and we will replace each one with a blank for you to do another character. Moving forward, do not do these people until we say you can or not.
Yeah. It's all the licensing stuff that kind of convolutes, what you can do and what you can't do. And then, like I said, things change with licensings, and we got the Fantastic Four in annual, and Dr. Doom, and and it's like, okay, and then we found out that, and Surfer, but we found out, I think those have been taken away again.
Yep.
So those are no longer on the list.
And it was the same thing with we were able to do Gambit for Premiere 21 or 22 or 23, whatever. We got it in 21. They released it in 23. and we were able to do Deadpool for both of those, but they immediately came right back off. It was like, you could do it for this project, but moving forward, just forget him again. Which hate it.
No, complete raspberry on that one. Yeah, no, I agree. It's ridiculous, but I mean, it's got all the tie too with movies coming out, because we have a Fantastic Four movie coming out, we have a Deadpool movie coming out again, and we have, it's ultimately Disney's say on what is available, what's not available, which honestly, I'm at the point with Disney where they really need to go ahead and just split Marvel off from Disney and make its own entity altogether again. And just the House of Mouse needs to stop being involved in something that's really not a, kids product, honestly, which they're trying to make it a kids product. But I don't know any kids who have like $300 for a box of cards to spend.
So it's so funny you say that, because the cards that have been disapproved, and I'll say within the last year and a half, some of them are even portraits. There is no cleavage, there is no gore, there's no blood, there's no guns, there's no violence, there's no nothing. It's literally just like from here up.
Yeah.
And they're not approved. And I would ask my art director, and I'd be like, is there something I'm missing? Like, was this character added and I wasn't aware? And he would literally write me back and he's like, Reed, there's no reason why that card should have been approved, but it's not up to Upper Deck, it's up to Marvel. So for anybody watching, Upper Deck is not who does the disapproval, unless the artwork is just so horrible or subpar, which even then, I mean, they're very forgiving in some instances, but there would be cards that would come through and they'd be like, well, you can't do this. Like, we'll talk about Premiere, which just came out, right? So there was a Dazzler I did from the late 80s where her midriff was showing, and that image didn't get approved because there's no midriffs. But then on a 3-panel sketch, I did an Emma Frost in her like San Francisco era. And you can see her belly button, her midriff is exposed. She got through. It makes no sense. It's so it's infuriating, because you lose the time and the effort and the materials, and then you don't get paid for it.
As we stated before, it's whatever mood the person who approves the card is in that day, basically, unfortunately. And it's like, I kind of want to find who this person is and just keep sending them care packages to make them happy. Like, get them one of those like annual sausage, like with the Hillshire Farm boxes, and just be like, did you get your monthly cheese and sausage basket from OTAN, from Derp? Did you get your cheese and sausage basket? Are you a happy boy now? So
if you want his email, we'll talk after the show.
Okay, I might start sending him care packages, honestly.
We are going to talk.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and start sending care packages to this person. I want a happy person in that position that, doesn't feel like that teacher in A Christmas Story where they're constantly giving every kid in the class an F, and then they get to the Red Ryder BB gun. I want them to have a Red Ryder BB gun essay every time, so they're happy. Yeah, we'll send them little like
sticks that big basket on their desk.
Yeah, just like get the wine and cheese basket, and just they don't have to have any Disney related products. They can have other stuff in there. We can send them some Universal stuff. They might be happy with that. Who knows? But
so I actually asked, I said, what is it about these cards that they're so crazy about? And the response I got was literally, Disney looks at these trading cards like toys. They're going to end up in the hand of a child. And I said, is Disney aware how much you assholes are charging for this stuff? Like, someone said it earlier. I don't know anybody who's got $300 to spend on a card, let alone $1,000 on a box of cards for a premium product, unless their parents are just that rich and don't give a damn.
If their parents are that rich and they're giving the kids $1,000 for a box of cards, or even $300 for a box of cards, no.
You were the kids I hated in grade school, by the way.
Yeah, no, I hated those kids too. I went to an all boys Catholic high school, so run by the Christian Brothers. So believe me, like I know you have like what is it, St. Stanislaus over in Bay St. Louis, not too far from where you're at. That school was our kind of main competition in high school for the all boys, bad boy, sent away from public school kind of boys, basically. I wasn't. I was probably one of the only kids that didn't light something on fire in some of my classes. That was actually in. Yeah, no, we had some interesting kids going to high school with me.
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't get it. A lot of collectors I know don't get it. And I mean, there are kids that do collect, but there are sets that are designed, for lower entry point, like Marvel Annual just came out. Marvel Annual has had some phenomenal cards, for kids. Plus, we've got blasters in the stores, and those blasters are all geared towards kids, in terms of price point somewhat. Some of them are $30 a blaster, though, like the Fleer Ultra Avengers that came out. But the art on those cards is very tame, but there are premium sets like Masterpieces, like Premiere, stuff like that. That's just, not going to be geared towards kid. And that's the problem. They can't differentiate between their product lines is the problem. And that's a huge failure on any organization that can't figure out, well, this is not geared towards children, but they just can't put that together. They think an apples and apples and not apples and oranges. They're two separate products, Yeah. But no, we all feel your pain, as collectors. We sit there and we shake our heads and go, why? What are y'all doing? But of course, Disney's not going to ask us for our feedback, even though we're the main consumer.
Disney got your dollar. That's where their concern stops.
But the problem is, if the cards are in their toy division, we're the main consumers of something that's probably a rounding error in their revenue for the toy division.
Yes.
Right? We're so small comparatively that, what we think really doesn't matter to them, unfortunately.
It doesn't. But I'll tell you right now, though, with Disney, it's starting to bite them in the butt a lot, with especially so we used to go to the parks all the time. I proposed my wife in the park. When they started removing things that appealed to families and started appealing more towards people who are in the 6-figure to 7-figure brackets of, vacationers, that's limiting a huge demographic of people who would normally go to your parks. And they're starting to finally feel that. Like, attendance is super down. They can't fully book things that they used to be able to book, like the special events that they have, like the Nightmare, the Christmas, the holiday events that they have. Like, they normally do like a thing where they have like a Halloween event where they close the park at like 6 o'clock. From 6 to like whatever time in the morning is people who paid a premium to be in the park. Those used to sell out instantly. Now that we're in a post-COVID era where basically the revenue streams are starting to dry up for them, and they're starting to notice that. So I think they need to start listening more to their consumers and not just doing the same old, which has been making them money hand over fist in the past. That's not applying anymore, and they're seeing that. So hopefully something does change. Like, we do these videos because we want to voice our opinions and tell them, even though it's a small demographic of us who are voicing these opinions, we're hoping these videos get picked up by somebody else who might watch it, share with a friend, and it spreads. And maybe somebody eventually will see this. I know it's not going to happen, but maybe somebody important might see it and go, these are the people who actually buy our stuff, who actually pay our salaries, But I'm sorry, I'm going to get my count out that
it wouldn't. Well, no, I think you raise a valid point, right? Because even if there's a model that works for a certain period of time or whatever, I mean, it can only last so long before things need to be tweaked, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, most people know that there are upper deck people in the card groups that pay attention, some of whom are art directors. And, I also wouldn't be surprised if there are people who work, specifically for or on, whatever in the card groups. And it would be stupid of them to not pay attention. And I think it's a good idea to voice your opinion and say, hey, so maybe you guys might want to take this into consideration, because unlike some of the conversations that were had a couple months ago about browbeating everyone into joining a bandwagon because we want to champion this cause, but having a productive conversation and raising valid points, you never know who's going to end up with that information.
It's an ever changing
years.
Yes, it's a never changing marketplace, with a lot of this stuff, like a few years ago, pre-COVID, you didn't have sets selling out and selling for the hundreds of, and we're now seeing, for example, right now we have 3 sets coming out this 1 month, I think, because we have anime coming out next week.
Anime's on the way.
Yep. Yeah, it's the 18th. I've already gotten I'm pretty sure mine is going to ship up Monday, and I'll be here by Wednesday. And then there's another set.
You know what bothers me
at the end of the month as well.
The thing that bothers me about them cranking all these sets out, right? So I did anime last year. I did Masterpieces last year. I did Premiere last year. I did we artists do these sketches. I mean, obviously way in advance because they have to go through the approval process. They have to be boxed up and shipped and yada, yada. Right. But why aren't my APs approved yet? I feel like any artist who turns their APs in early or before release, those APs should be approved with the cards that are approved for the set so that when the product is released, we can ship those things out. I'm sitting on 12.5 APs that have been finished, some for over a year, waiting for them to tell me they're okay. And I know some people don't follow the rules, and I know some collectors give me all kinds of crap about it. But, Marvel is the bulk of what I do card-wise. I won't jeopardize, losing that. But at the same time, I'm just as frustrated because I'm now the middleman and I get all the hate. I get all the, the ire and the angst. And Upper Deck doesn't do the approvals again. The APs get approved by Marvel. So Marvel's the one is that they're dragging their feet. But then they're going to slam you collectors with all of these, you had Masterpieces, Premiere, Beginnings, Annual, and now you've got Anime on the way. And I think there was 2 more this summer. You want to talk about flooding a market?
I am very worried right now about that because I am having to be very selective in what I purchase, and I'm contemplating canceling my anime pre-orders because now I want to do Fleer. I'm a huge Ghost Rider collector and Midnight Suns, Kubert work and guys like that. So I know. Believe me, I know. And now that they've announced that at the price point that that's at, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should move my anime, boxes to that because we're seeing now at a point where I hate to say this, but I worked at a comic book store back in the 90s, and I saw the chromium covers and I saw the gold variants and I saw all these different, and I saw the market being flooded because they wanted to overproduce. I think we're on the cusp of that overproduction, quite honestly. I think that the people who had jumped in, who are collectors, who were like, well, I've got something that's only released once every few years. Now we're seeing offshoots of those sets, and now we're seeing that maybe even twice a year. Like for Fleer Ultra Avengers, well, now we've got another Fleer set. Now we've got Midnight Suns coming out probably early next year. And I think that, absence makes the heart grow fonder with some of these sets, and I worry about the amount of production because I know they're looking at dollar signs. They're looking, people were buying all this, but the problem is, if you start flooding the market with all these sets and people have no money to buy the sets, you're not going to get the same profits you had before, and that's the problem with a lot of people in corporate America. They don't fully understand that. They don't learn from their previous mistakes. It's like the housing market right now. I remember when my stock portfolio crashed in 2008. When I just started putting a lot of money into it, when I first started my job, thinking, okay, I'm going to be able to save for my retirement. And then it crashed. Well, now we're at the same point where we're reaching that bubble again in the housing market. I'm sorry, guys, I'm going off on tangents, but I'm a very analytical thinking person. My job, that's actually what I am, is an Intel analyst. So I look at trends, I look at patterns, and I'm seeing those same trends and patterns again. And I'm worried, because I'm seeing that now in the card market that I saw back in the 90s, where everything just imploded,
And not only, what really worries me, well, there's 2 things. First of all, not just the pace of new releases, but think about how backup EPAC is too, right? All that inventory still has to come to market too, and that's going to throw things off.
Oh, yeah.
what worries me is this reminds me of Rittenhouse in 2014 and 2015, where they started cranking stuff out, and it turns out because they were losing the license. Yeah. So if there's anything to that, and again, we don't know and they won't tell us, but if that was the case, that would explain why they don't care to get it out. It's maximize profit, don't care about the long-term health of it, because that'll be someone else's problem when they pick up the license. I don't know if I want to say hopefully it's not the case. I don't know my answer. I don't know that anyone can do it better right now. I don't know that I want fanatics to get it, maybe. So I don't know who else there is. Unless
I did buy a Powerball ticket. It's at 1.75 billion. I'll tell you right now, if I win the Powerball, Upper Deck is mine. I'm buying it. The McWilliams family can take a long vacation and a rest. I'll buy Upper Deck. I'll talk to Marvel. I'll shoot them the straight.
There we go. You heard it here first, folks.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and, if you guys don't see me for a while, on the round table, I'm in behind the scenes doing stuff, trying to make sure that I've taken my Powerball winnings and bought those licenses and make sure that the hobby's safe. So I got that crazy.
If you win the Powerball and you buy Upper Deck, I want to raise.
Oh, artists will be getting a mandatory across the board. Like
25 cents extra per sketch card.
Oh, no. We're talking
You're welcome.
20 bucks, 25, 30 a card, more than likely.
You're just going to take a loss on every case. There you go. Love it.
I'll take care of the artists. I have become a sketch card fanatic in the past year or so. And honestly, that's the thing that that's the thing they don't realize too. A lot of collectors, those sketch cards, those are the big things that are the chase in these sets that people are going after. And yeah.
Really quickly, I want to answer a question.
Okay.
Someone asked in the chat. For some reason, I can't type in the chat, so I would be responding. I think I have to log in something. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Adwin says, time-wise, just how much time intensive is doing a 3/4 figure compared to doing just the head? So it really depends on who the head or portrait is of and who the 3/4 figure is of. Like, if I was drawing Havoc from the, that ridiculous, well, I won't say ridiculous. I know some people dig it, but that black leotard with just the triple, metal
crown
things on his head.
Yeah.
If I was drawing him as a 3/4, it wouldn't take quite as long because it's mostly literally just like a flat black. I try not to draw it that way, but if I was doing Colossus, who's really shiny and has all the reflections and the striation across his metal, and maybe he's lifting something or whatever, that would take significantly longer. Head sketches, if I'm going to draw a close-up of a face, now there are times where I only draw head sketches because I'm in a time crunch and I have to do 30 cards in a week, which I hate, but I got to make that money. But if I'm going to do a head sketch, I at least try to add more detail or some kind of lighting or something in the hair or something so that there's at least some level of effort into it. And again, depending on who it is, like, if you're drawing Silver Age Iceman, who's basically a snowball with a face, not going to take a lot of time, right? It's not a lot of effort and not a lot of detail. But if you're going to do like Diamond, Emma Frost, who's kind of see-through and shiny and all of that, that's going to take significantly longer. So it really varies depending on who it is. I've done head sketches on cards in as quick as 20 minutes, and I've taken as long as 6 hours on an AP.
What if some crazy person makes you do 2 3/4 bodies and a dragon?
That card took probably about 4 hours.
Excellent.
But you would think that full figures don't take quite as long, but sometimes they do. Especially if you're putting them in a background or if you're doing something dynamic with them, or they have some kind of crazy power and there's a lot of detail. Kitty is really fun to draw because, Marvel's like, yay, make them using their powers. So, okay, you're going to get half a person because the other half of her is going to be behind the card. Like, and I don't even draw buildings anymore. I literally make it look like she's phasing through the card. So you get some shadow.
Hey, Josh,
Hi,
what's up,
Josh.
buddy?
Hey, how's it going? How are you, Rhiannon?
All right, Josh, I'm going to say what everyone's thinking.
I'm
I think
exhausted.
You're trolling us with these hats. You have 30 hats, each one with a successfully larger brim, and you keep upping it every single time. I swear to God.
You know,
Am I right? I figured it out, didn't I? There you go.
I gotta make mine flat, and actually, I'll
Seriously, that's almost a diving
Pop it up.
board. Look at that thing. I love it. Anyways, I had to say
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, if I straighten it out, I mean, it might. I don't know. It's just it's built that way, you know. So
Do your kids eat their lunch off of that, like when they're at practice, and you you got some
no,
orange?
but I do. I just
You put
flip
some
it.
saran wrap on it. You put some orange slices up there. You're like, here, go back in the
on a
game.
sunny day, you could stand behind the old lady at the game and give her a shade.
Hey, I love this hat. I got it in San Diego. It's one of my favorites. So
It's a
nice
conversation
hat.
piece. Everybody notices it.
It's a very nice hat. It's a very enjoyable hat.
thank you.
Man, I don't know where I was. I went off.
Yo,
Your hat threw me off. I don't know where we are.
Is Rhiannon? Is she gonna have something put up for auction tonight, or what's going on with that?
I don't know.
I'm actually sitting here sketching on a PSC,
Ooh.
and I'm not drawing a specific character. It is a female. I'm sure you're shocked. But whoever wins it can tell me who to finish it as. So it's
Cool.
like,
That's cool.
you get some participation in it.
Wow.
So do you want to do an auction? We can go ahead and start, say at a certain dollar amount you feel comfortable with, and then see if anybody in chat wants to buy that. Would you want to do that, or you just want to do a flat rate, or what would you like to do?
So I want everyone to have a shot. So why don't you start it at like $10? Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
right, chat.
So I will say it's a female character. I'm not drawing a face or costume details, so whoever wins gets to choose based on the pose. But yeah, I'm working on one of the hands now, so it's from the bottom of the rib cage up, so it's half body.
All right, it's at 50 right now.
Is it really? Oh wow.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
I'm saying it right now.
She does Jubilee very well, just to give you all some ideas.
I'm just saying. Matt, how many of my cards do you have now? 90?
Let me look at my list.
90 something?
You are number 6 on my list with 94.
Look at that.
And I have a giveaway. I'm going to do one. I'm going to do 2 actually tonight. So I'll go ahead and do the first one now. Let me go ahead and I probably should have been collecting the StreamYard. God, I've had a very long day.
I do that all the time, Matt.
But it'll pull it out of the stream, so it's okay. So we're good. Shush. Silence.
I love what Rhiannon put. She's like, my name's not Matt, but these two guys are.
And Coombs was
in the beginning. There were 3 Matts.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Hey, Matt you can just pick which one." Someone earlier asked what the hashtag was for, so you might want to explain that again before you do anything.
Yeah, no, we're gonna give away. I got a few cards to give away on my EPAC account. So you have to have EPAC number 1. Sorry, I need to clarify there. But yeah, thanks, Ree. I'm going to be giving away a Scotty Young Venom comic. Nice. And then I've got a Ghost Rider Unbound card and a Psylocke Unbound base as well that I'll be giving away. So those are some of my favorite cards from Unbound this year. So I bought a ton of those, so I would have giveaways for you guys. And also I was hoping to pull an autograph, but didn't pull autographs. But I figured, hey, I'll go ahead and share with you guys and spread the love around. So let me go ahead and get this queued up. We got 14 entries, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this shared.
Yeah, earlier before you explained what that was, I kept feeling like I needed to like, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Who are you? You're welcome. I don't know you, but you're welcome. Like, and then I was like, what the hell am I saying you're welcome for? I don't know. I'm so confused.
So Pep loves MODOK. I've been giving her MODOK cards whenever I find them in the giveaways. If I've got those, if they win, her or her boyfriend. But yeah, thanks Ree is the giveaway hashtag. And if anybody would like to enter who's just joined us, feel free to jump in there and join. And once it's over, once the stream is over, I'll just message me on Instagram. My IG is derp_collectibles. And just let me know that you won, and I'll go ahead and send the trade off to you guys on ePack. And if you don't have an ePack account, it's free to get an ePack account. But let me go ahead and just check and see where we're at. We're at 16 now, so I think we're good to draw. So we got a few last second entries here coming in. So I'm going to draw in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we can't win. Brittany can win, though.
Hey!
Congratulations, Brittany. And I think someone said earlier in the chat, happy belated birthday.
Oh, happy belated birthday. I'll send a few extra things for your birthday. I've got some duplicate Creators Corner autos that I'll add. I think I've got a Kurt Busiek as well. So
it's really funny. She had. Oh, I was gonna say it's really funny. Her daughter in the morning on birthday morning, like did a red carpet for her, but it was so funny because it was like insulation carpet or insulation stuff, and she just put it all out, like all the way down to the kitchen or something. It's kind of funny.
So wait, was it fiberglass?
No, it was something else. No, it was something else. It was like bubble stuff or something like that. But
okay, good. I was hoping she didn't go in the attic and was pulling out the insulation like the Cornings wear, and just
no. But it was so cute what she did because it was very inventive what she did.
Okay.
Like it came out of nowhere. So
okay, I'm glad you clarified that because I was really worried. I was like, I remember being a kid and going in our little attic's crawl space and like pulling that stuff out and bringing it into the house, and my dad being like, "What is this?" And
yeah,
it's the pink stuff we found in the attic. And as a adult, I know that's not good to play with fiberglass, insulation.
Probably not. No.
It explains probably why I am the way I am now as just an adult. So, weren't you that kid that was eating paint chips off the side of the shed when you were a young lad? No.
Yeah.
Did you just go Hank Hill on us?
Did I what?
Did you just go Hank Hill on us?
You're that kid hanging out by my tool shed? You son of a bitch.
Propane accessories?
Butane is a bastard gas.
You sound like the guy off. What is that? What is that show? Family Guy? Is it Family Guy?
Oh, you mean the guy who's like, got a popsicle for you, you son of a bitch.
Oh no, you sounded like the guy off Beavis and Butthead. That
basically is Hank Hill. Yeah, no, that's
okay.
Like Mike Judge does the voice of all those characters. So yeah.
Oh, all right.
Hank Hill is basically like the continuation of that character, basically.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Like, damn it, Bobby. I told you once, I told you twice. Quit leaving your damn scooter skatey stuff around my house. Sorry, Dad.
Who is main chat tonight? That was
crazy.
I think it's Nathan.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think I saw his name come up and he's not here. So
yeah, we didn't even do the intro video. We just kind of went with it. So
it's all good. Sometimes it's just like you just go.
Bad.
No. Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
It's like Dumb and Dumber. Just go.
Yeah, I could do a whole show of me just doing voices, honestly. Like there's a guy named Scott Innes who does Scooby-Doo's voice, or did Scooby-Doo in the cartoons. And when I worked at a Sam Goody Mall, at the Cortana Mall in Baton Rouge, he would come in and buy stuff there, and I'd do my Cartman voice, and he would hear it. So I would call into the radio show and do Cartman. Kitty, my pet. It's a bad kitty. I can't do it right now because my throat's a little clogged from the weather changing. But
sounded good to me.
Let me pull my mic closer.
Okay, Maypay. Okay. You can't have any Maypay. You have a party. It's gonna be punch and pie. You can't have none.
Say who killed Kenny.
That's actually God, what's his name? That's not Cartman who does that voice. Like
Is it
that,
Stan?
it's Stan. Yeah, Stan's like,
Oh my God! You killed Kenny. You bastard!
Whoa, that's ridiculous. You really do sound like him. Jesus.
That guy over there, he's always doing stupid stuff. I don't know. I hate him. I know, he's such a jackass.
back to talking about
And there you have it.
cards and other stuff. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, so about this thing that I'm gonna win because no one else is bidding on it. I was wondering, like, how do you? Is there something I can say like to turn it into a character, or what is it gonna be? Like, I don't get it. Explain it again.
Well, I'm gonna show you the figure.
Okay.
Because it's just a basic figure. I haven't drawn any facial details, no costume details. It's literally just like the outline of a figure.
Okay.
So it's up to 50 if anybody wants to bid more on it, and if anybody wants to turn this into a specific character, you can. I don't know if it's gonna show up though. No, it's all blurred. All right, first of all, tell me how I can unblur my background while we're live. If you need to kick me off so I can unblur it and then come back, like we could do it that way.
You can go into more on you're on your phone, right? So there should be a thing that says more, or settings, and you would hit it, and then
Oh wait. There it is. Settings. Okay. Yay.
Yeah.
Background.
Yes.
Nothing.
Ta-da!
Sweet.
Yes.
Thank you.
We got it. You're welcome.
All right.
It's white. Oh, now we can see it. Oh, nice.
I see boobs.
Yeah.
And a head. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's so pale. Hold on. Let me get. Oh wait.
I mean, Ken is correct. I'm gonna ask for Spider Woman.
Yeah, we knew that.
There you go.
I could definitely
so
that. Yeah.
That's a
Boobs.
perfect Spider Woman.
You have no idea the gears going through my head right now. $55
Well, I mean,
to make it Wolverine, but keep the boobs.
That would be X-23.
No, they
I want facial
actually
hair.
I
want a mustache.
You want a facial?
they did some gender swap stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it was it X-Men Annual 12 when Mojo was like trying to figure out before he did like the X babies that he did like robot X-Men, gender swap X-Men. They were like all animal X-Men. Yep. And there was a female Wolverine, and Arthur Adams drew it, and she was a female Wolverine. So
I completely remember now what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh, just to show you, I did get my Tony Perna sketch in today.
Oh, nice. Well,
yeah, that's the one I want in your stream.
That's awesome. I love that one. And then I actually have a matching Wolverine, not a matching Wolverine, but I have something coming from Perna that's going to be pretty sick too. I'll show you later. But what I was going to say is there was a Wolverine in 2019 Flare. Who did that? Because that was a woman Wolverine. It didn't say X-23. It actually says Wolverine, and it was a woman.
Well, X-23 took on the mantle of Wolverine for a while.
Yeah, she became Wolverine for a while, so it actually would have been Wolverine at that time.
But there was also, I think, from an alternate universe, another female, and this was way back before X-23 came around. What the hell was her name? And she had the the big triangle face mask, and but she had long black hair.
So that's the 2099, the 2099 storylines. I think there was a female Wolverine. I think that's what you're thinking about. I I believe. Let me see.
Her name wasn't Wolverine though; it was something else.
It was. It
I'm
was
a
Wolverine.
fan.
It was like Wolverine's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that we're talking about Wolverine, and Matt started it. This,
We're all Googling.
this OCD Matt started it. Thank you, Matt, for this whole conversation.
It reminds me of something.
Hey, Rhiannon. Once I get that sketchbook of yours that I'm still trying to hope I get. And a lot of people can reach out to her and get this sketchbook. It is a sweet sketchbook, and she's basically selling it for pennies. But what I was gonna say is I'm gonna send you some stuff. It's like a care package that has some stuff in it, some ideas I have in the future. So yeah.
Okay.
I'll explain it to you later.
So speaking of just going back to Mojo, it reminded me of something random I picked up. So in my search for card OA, I've been bad and I've ventured into some comic original art. So I got this Extreme X-Men variant cover by Chrissy Zulo.
Oh boy.
What?
That's a cool cover.
Right? A little weird.
Hey, it looks like my phone's gonna die, just to let everybody know. So I'm gonna go back to chat. So thanks, Rhiannon.
Just don't disconnect the stream.
Bye.
It's just gonna die.
Brittany just outbid you.
Wait, what?
Oh,
oh my gosh, you gotta make
Nancy
it rogue now.
The bid was at.
I
Nancy
love it.
asked what the bid was at. The bid was at 50, Nancy, but Brittany just took it up to 75 to make it rogue.
Yes.
Nice.
I can't change it now. If she wants rogue, I can't do that.
Nancy, make it 80 for Gambit. Only face up, though. Right?
Or Gambita.
That could be rogue transitioning into Gambit.
Gambita.
Oh, see? There.
I mean, I drew Rogue. If you look at my Instagram, there's a black and white cover I did where Rogue is holding the cards and they're glowing pink. Like she obviously swiped his powers for a second or something.
Nice.
Yeah. I did that last year at GalaxyCon Raleigh.
I'm trying to find. I'm now on a quest to find that female Wolverine.
So there's a what if version.
Yeah.
But that's not it. The what if version was literally called Wolverina. That's not what I'm thinking about. And everything's coming up X23, but that's not it either. If I see her.
Yeah, I know the Wolverina one. I remember that what if. I'm trying to find, because I actually had watched, I was on a big tear on YouTube for those Comics Explained videos where the guys basically explaining the whole plot synopsis of a lot of the books, like the newer stuff that's come out and some of the older stuff. And there was a alternate, not alternate, but set in the 2099 universe, in the future, basically, there was a Wolverine that was his daughter. But of course, there are no. It's almost like Marvel decided to try to strike it from the record, basically, and sent in probably a copyright strike to Google to remove all search results for that character.
What was the character called? Was it Wolverine?
No.
It was not Wolverine. Hold on. Dang it.
She had the brown and yellow costume.
Yeah.
And she had a ponytail in the back. Yep. I mean, it was literally a take on his costume.
I'm just not seeing any Google search results for it at all. Let me go to YouTube.
No, everything's coming up X-23 or Lady Deathstrike.
Let's see.
But it was like in the future, I think. Like it was real specific.
Yeah, no, I know, and she had a few like actual issues, like comic book issues that came out. She had a series. Let's see.
And it's gonna bug me.
Oh no, it's bugging me now too. I'm just trying to figure out where it is. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm looking also, but this doesn't make for good video, does it?
It doesn't. I'm sorry, guys. I know y'all really
found it.
What the hell are they doing?
You found it? All right, there we go.
I found it. I just haven't found her name yet. Wild Thing.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. It is Wild Thing.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Let me see if I can share it.
Yeah.
No, Wild Thing is not the daughter, but it's Rena Logan. Here it is. I found it.
Yes, Rena.
Wild Thing was another like cyber comic book character. Hold on a second. I'll share the screen. So chat can see what we've been searching for. Because, all right. So Rena Logan, here it is. Let me share. Here you guys go. So yeah, this is what we've been
here's
searching
another one
for the whole time. Oh, she is called Wild Thing. There's another comic called Wild Thing that was one of those Marvel UK imprint comics. That's what I was getting confused with. But her claws are almost like psionic looking. It almost looks like her claws are like Psylocke-esque. Like,
are there any Marvel scenic sketches like without any characters out there? I've never seen one. I did one of the Quinjet like in 2014, but it was of a vehicle, not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it like being like Avengers Tower or the X Mansion or something like that. But it would have to be something or the Baxter Building maybe.
Yeah. There were, so for every once in a while we would get projects where they would actually have not just a character but like a thing on it related to the set. And one of the cards I got, I want to say it was for Captain America Winter Soldier. It like I had to draw the Quinjet. It literally said Quinjet on it, and I was like, shit, I don't ever draw vehicles. But I think we all try to do characters because that's what people want from us. I mean, there have been sets from Rittenhouse, like for Star Trek and Twin Peaks, where you can't, you're either, they want you to draw the spaceships or the planets or the sets or the scenes, but not the characters. And I know for Twin Peaks specifically, we couldn't draw any characters. They wanted us to only draw like the coffee mug and like certain signs that were pertinent to the show. I ended up not being on that set, even though they asked me to do it. So I know a little bit about it, but
Game of Thrones was like that for the first couple seasons where they couldn't get any licenses.
Yeah. And a lot of it has to do with, actor approval and rights of likeness and all that kind of stuff. Because if you think approvals take long now,
that whole Cosmic series that they had sketch cards of different planets, I guess, were
I was on it.
Did you find that difficult to draw circles with lines all over the place, or was it easy for you? That just
look. I have APs. Who wants a planet?
Oh, yeah, who wants a planet? Can you draw Ego the living planet on? No, just joking. Probably not.
I mean, they would never know. I think Ego's actually on the list of people we can't draw. I could be wrong, so don't quote me, but years ago there was a company called Viceroy that did some very like individual stuff. Like we did The Deep, which was all like aquatic life. We did Insectae, which was all like insects, arachnids, and all of that. Which I really liked those projects because again, I got to draw realism, so I was able to draw like, from reference of animals. But they also did one that was all like planets and nebula and universes and all that kind of crazy stuff. And I really loved working on that set. So when Upper Deck asked me, I was like, okay, sure. But it was weird because I was like, why aren't you drawing Marvel? What's wrong with you guys? But for anybody who is interested, since Josh gave me that great send up, I do have sketchbooks.
Okay.
This one, now these are old. These are 2012. This one with Harley is all APs and returns. So there's Marvel, DC, Star Wars. There's some independent stuff, some Red Sonja. This one with Gambit on it is just sketch card art. So it's back then I had done work for 14 different companies, which I give a shout out to them on the first page. And you see there's Walking Dead and then Star Wars. And then this was from the first Perna's, the first Classic Mythology, and then DC at the top. So there's that. So we're up to 75, and right now she's Rogue. Yes. But I won't finish sketching her out until we end the bid, which will go for as long as we need to, whatever.
Well, we'll probably do it a few more so that way you can kind of actually start to flesh out the character and draw the detail. So right now, guys, we have is it on just blank stock, or is it a
PSC?
Okay, so it's on Rhiannon's actual PSC stock. So you'll get a Rhiannon PSC, and you get to finish out the character. And the current bidding is at 75 with Brittany. So, but if anybody wants to outbid, I'm sorry, Brittany, but if anybody wants to outbid you, outbid her, you can go ahead and throw in a bid. And like I said, Rhiannon's just kind of drawing the outline of the character, and then she'll add the details, and you'll get that card from Rhiannon. So, but
probably within the next week, because I'm finishing a project for Upper Deck by Friday.
Okay.
And then I have actually cleared my schedule. I have 2 other Upper Deck projects on my desk, but I haven't accepted any other work past that because I am hell bent on getting all my APs and back catalog of sketches just done. I'm so tired of being behind, and I have found a stack of APs that, can I use the money? Yes, but I'm tired of being in perpetual art debt. Like, we don't get paid when we finish working, we get paid after the project's released. Yeah. So if we drew, say, Marvel Masterpieces back in 2021, some people just got paid because it just came out. And you can't live like that. So, a lot of us that's what these APs are so good about. But then we start working on APs, and then APs need to be approved if you follow the rules. But then at the same time, it's like, as soon as you take on commissions, well, here comes another project. And you want to take on the work because you want those APs and you want to stay relevant and you want, that Marvel name on your resume or whatever. It's such a vicious cycle. And I am so tired of being browbeat by it. Like, I'm never caught up. But I'm trying to get caught up because I'm tired of not being caught up.
Yeah, no, we hear it all the time from other artists that, they have to wait to get paid. And some of them don't get paid in an appropriate time frame, unfortunately, for the work that gets done. It's nuts,
There have been contracts that literally say you will be paid within 6 months of project release. Well, what if that project doesn't come out for 2 years? You don't get paid for 2 years and 6 months?
Yeah. Yeah, no, but the money that they're paying to. I don't understand that logic. You know, if it was something where it was like $30 a card or something like on that range, where it did depend on the actual like product being released and getting revenue streams from that product, then yeah. But they're not waiting on that revenue stream from that. That's allocated in the actual production budget. You know, so that doesn't make any sense to me at all. It's just them trying to stretch out their dollars, you know, which it's not going to hurt them.
Well, and the longer that money sits in their account,
the more interest
they make off of it.
Oh, I know. But I am really interested to see, like, with competitors like Finding Unicorn coming to the market, you know, will they eventually have a premiere-like product, you know, that they're going to release, where they're going to be having multiple booklets?
What's interesting, I have 7 Finding Unicorn APs available. I was going to have them so I could show you, but I put them in a box, and I'm not sure where I put them. Their card stock is comparable to Masterpieces and Premiere. It's thick. My markers blend on it so beautifully. And the issue, though, is their boxes are $200, which is what, you know, the average box was, 5 years ago, maybe, when it wasn't super crazy. And, you know, now you got Finding Unicorn, because they also just did Guardians of the Galaxy, and they had a Chris Pratt signature, which Upper Deck couldn't get.
Yeah.
So they're charging $200 a box for a product with premium card stock, and they're getting signatures that Upper Deck didn't get, and they're charging like a third or a quarter what these other boxers are selling for. And people are going, hey, China's looking really good right now.
Oh no, we agree. Like I've looked at some of that stuff, and I'm tempted to buy a box, honestly. You know, and I've got
there have been several people who were.
Yeah. No, I don't blame artists for moving over to, you know, Finding Unicorn or getting work from them, honestly, because with the horror stories we've heard about UD and their time schedules and their production just being lackluster, you know. Plus, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you keep treating somebody the way you're treating them, eventually they're going to move on, you know, and it sucks for us as collectors who have gotten used to seeing certain tier of artists, you know, on certain products now being told, well, you know, or them making the decision to say, well, it's not worth it for me anymore. And ultimately you have to make that decision for yourself. You know, if it's not worth it for you, if you can find somebody else who's going to pay you appropriately, then, you know, or give you a better deal, then go to that deal. You know, the collectors will follow.
Well, I can say this because I'm not going to be working for Finding Unicorn anymore. Finding Unicorn paid me more than any other company stateside. And it's interesting because when I was first contacted by their art director, they offered me $8 a card. And I said, have a nice day. And I said, you know, any other company out of China that I've worked for has paid me X amount, and I won't work for less than that. And I said, you know, but I'll negotiate with you. And we came to an agreement. And then after that agreement, I found out that someone from another company that is now defunct was behind them getting a hold of me to work for Finding Unicorn. And I said, I'm going to have a conversation with this person, and they're going to negotiate my rate of pay, because that other company paid me $50 a card.
Wow.
There was a lot of back and forth and a lot of, well, no, that wasn't me. No, I didn't do it. No, I'm not involved. I'm just helping. But then there was also a lot of, well, then why are you paying me out of your personal account if you don't work for that company? So I don't have the time or the energy to battle back and forth. And I'm at this point in my career, look, December is going to be 15 years for me doing card work, card art. I'm not justifying myself to anybody at this point. I appreciate all of the things I've been able to do. Listen, I'm still doing really crazy, great, amazing things. But I have so much work to do and so much work that I've done that if you were gonna smack me in the face with $8 a card because you're trying to sneak in behind someone else to get me to work for you, fuck off. There's no other way to say that.
Yeah.
And
delayed.
Kellen, earmuffs in the past. Earmuff past.
Exactly. So, jump in the time machine.
The thing about it is, and this goes for any artist, and this, I mean, this is kind of difficult to say because art is subjective, but we have to know what we're worth, and we have to know when we're being taken advantage of, and we have to be able to spot, lip service and butt kissers when they come along, because that's how you get taken advantage of, right? Like, oh my God, you're my favorite. I will give you X amount because, don't tell anybody, but I'm paying you more than I pay anybody else. And then you find out 3 years later, they were paying someone else 3 times what they paid you. Yeah. And you were all excited, but then you realize on the back end, you got taken advantage of. And then suddenly you're like, wait a minute, what am I missing? It's a business at the end of the day. And, these companies do have to make their money and they have budgets. And when you have big licenses like Marvel, they don't come cheaply. I mean, they have to pay for those.
Yeah.
But if you're going to tell an artist, oh, I know your work, I know what you do, I've seen, this, that, and the other, I'm so impressed, you have to be on this project. And then you're like, here's $8. $8 sounds like a lot to people who are just getting started, but 15 years in, when I was making $50 for another company, $8 is nothing. This is $8. One Copic marker is $8. How many of these did I burn through to do your 41 sketches, in a week?
And that's the whole other thing with me is like you're having to provide all the resources, and pay your bills at the same time while waiting for this check to come through, which may not come through for a few years. Like when we talked to Ariel, which was our very first artist we had on, I didn't know that. I had no idea that he hadn't gotten paid for sets that had come out like almost 2 years previously and was still waiting. And it was actually released and he was still waiting 6 months on to get his actual paycheck from them. That's one of the reasons I'm mad. I really am mad, honestly. I love collecting cards. I love pulling big cards. I am doing my hobby with it, but I'm just personally, consciously, like just it boggles my mind that a company can operate like that.
I mean, the other interesting thing to watch on Finding Unicorn is going to be if they keep putting out these sets. I'm going to make a prediction. Upper Deck will probably try to sue them because the licenses are geo-specific, so it should be really hard for us to get these cards in the US, and it has not been at all. So yeah, I think eventually if they keep putting out sets, unfortunately it's going to come to a head and it's going to end up making it harder for us in the US to get them.
And I think though that the problem is that's something that they really can't control because we live in a global marketplace. I mean, unless UPS is ripping open every box to see what comes through, they're not going to know that they can't ship those products, And
yeah, I suspect there are some. Never mind.
Silencio.
Let's hope I'm wrong, because again, I agree with you. I think it's great for the artists. I love seeing artists getting more money and recognition. Yeah. And I'm thrilled that some of the Filipino artists are finally getting the due they deserve as artists.
Oh yeah,
especially after the crap some of them went through with one of those other companies. Although actually, I think they'd never had any issue, but with the Brazilian artists. But still.
I mean, look at like Jomar's work on Premiere. My God, well, amazing.
I mean, I'll take issue with that because I think Jomar's been always excellent.
Yeah,
I've always
but I've seen like a progression. Like I have some of his
which is
earlier
crazy
stuff.
Because he's already been up here, and to see him like wow.
Yeah, no, yeah, and everybody knows I love Jovenel Mendoza. I can't get his cards for cheap anymore because I keep talking about it, and I've gotten other people to love his work too. So I'm constantly getting outbidded, but I'm happy for that. I am happy when an artist gets notoriety. and people start to realize how valuable their work is and how beautiful the work is. And I'm happy with the sketches I got in my binder right now. If I can occasionally get another one like an AP, I have 2 I'm waiting right now on Juvenile, so I'm hoping to get those in the future.
Really quickly, I want to address.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the chat, they pay their artists like they should. No, they don't. They pay them better, but they don't pay them like they should, and they're sneaky about it. And I know this because that's what I had to go through. So, here's what's great. The product is great. Their price point is great. And right now they're riding really high because they are spotlighting a lot of Asian artists who aren't getting a lot of recognition here, like the ones that we just mentioned. And, again, getting that Chris Pratt auto was a big deal. And that made a lot of people go, oh, what is this? But I'm telling you, if it's the same business model or if it's anything like the company that was run and is now defunct by the person that I was in touch with, it ain't going to be around much longer. And it's because they're shifty as shit.
There's one person, you mean, not necessarily the company itself, but.
Well, it's the person behind it. And to me, if you're running it, you are the company. And the thing that's disappointing is if he is utilizing any artist to try to track down or, goad or manipulate or trick other people into jumping on board like they tried to with me, I can't get behind that. Because, they pay, they may seem like they're paying artists what they like, but when you paid me $50 a card at your other company and then you tried to use someone else to say, oh, well, we can give you $8. Bitch, I know how deep your pockets are. Don't try to fool me because that's manipulation. And you're trying to get the same quality out of me for less than a quarter? Nope.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's definitely somebody being manipulative in business, which shocker, someone in business and being manipulative. But
listen, I have spoken to several companies over time. Back when I was still with Rittenhouse, I said, hey, what do I have to do to bump this number up a little? It never hurts to ask a question, and it never hurts to talk to your art director and say, how can I do this? Or what do I need to do to get here? That is how every single thing I have ever done or accomplished happened. I talked about it. If you go onto YouTube and you find Billy Bezzosi's Behind the Pencil interview, we talk about it. And I literally say, everything I have done, I asked, how do I do it? How do I get there? How do I make it happen? And there's no harm in asking. If you beat their door down and say, I've been here this long, you have to give me this, then you can probably kick rocks. But if you're genuine and earnest enough to say, hey, I've been working with you guys for 10 years, can we bump my pay rate up? Can I maybe do this? Or, how do I get here? There's no harm in asking that. And artists, a lot of times we get tricked into thinking, oh my God, we're working on a Marvel project. We're famous. And then you go to a show and people go, oh, they still make trading cards? That's cute. I'm going to go get this cover signed by Silvestri or Jim Lee or whoever's there that has been in print for 20 years.
Yeah.
So, question, while we're talking artists and negotiating, and since there may be some artists that watch this, on the flip side of asking for more money, have you, without going into specifics, have you ever negotiated for a higher rate of APs as an alternate way to get to compensation? Because that seems to me, if I'm the company, I can either give you an extra $5 per card, or I can give you an extra 10 pieces of printed cardboard that probably cost me $1.
Yep.
Let me think.
And that's part of the negotiation. It's okay. I understand you can't give me this. What can you do?
Yeah.
And look, I won't say their name, and it's not me, but I know I can think of 2 artists off the top of my head that literally said exactly what you did. It cost you this much to print this paper. I want an AP for every 2 cards you get from me. And they got it.
2 artists, you say? Huh.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't me. I'm not speaking about myself.
They twins?
We're not going to name names, but I agree. Like, my whole thing that drives me nuts is when I found out that a lot of artists, you have to do 10 APs, get 10 APs approved, or I'm sorry, 10 pieces approved to get 1 AP. And let's say, for example, you got 68 approved, so you're only getting 6 cards. The rounding down is just complete and utter bullshit.
Well, so my experience was they rounded up. I personally have not dealt with anybody who's rounded down. And there have been a couple times where, you know, the art directors are like, man, you know, I know you really put a lot of effort into this and they didn't all get through, you know, here's an extra AP. Like, there have been some art directors who have genuinely thought about their artists and maintaining a good relationship with them. But overall, you know, like Matt said, it doesn't cost you anything to print this stuff. You're not coming out a lot of money if you just, you know, oh, here's a little extra. I will say that another company I work for and am currently working for, Cardwise, in their contracts, it says, you know, we'll sprinkle in a couple extra oopsie cards, which you can keep as your returns or APs, you know, if you don't mess up, on top of the extra blanks we send you. You know, that kind of thing. It feels like a kickback. But
I love that there's oopsie cards somewhere written in a contract. I need a copy of that contract.
Verbatim. That is what they're called. Oopsie cards. Hilarious. But, you know, an artist actually said, I know it doesn't cost you anything to print these. You don't lose anything if you give me a couple extra. I don't care what you pay me. I'm selling these things for hundreds of dollars. Help a bitch out. And they did.
Yeah. No, that needs to be across the board. I mean, for the artwork that's coming out, you know, and then.
And for a set like Premiere, they need to give some of the bigger ones.
Let me tell you what.
Negotiable?
When I saw, because I remember speaking with the art director when they first started doing those gatefold and, you know, the long sketches. And they were like, we're going to pay you this much. And I'm like, it still breaks down to the same rate I make per card. You're not paying me extra. It looks like you are, but you're getting more work out of me. And it's 2-sided, you sneaky bitches. Like, it's the equivalent of 7 cards, not 4.
It's like a Walmart sale. I'll pay you $3 for this. Or $6 for this.
But, you know, then it was, I was looking at the number of APs, and the number of APs were like, you're treating those long ass gatefold cards as one card. No. But again, you know, they're like, well, we got to make money and we have to profit. And, you know, it's kind of like that model of, why are all the billionaires rich when they aren't doing anything, but all the people who actually do the work for them are the ones that are struggling to pay their bills and breaking their necks and not making any money?
Did you see Simone either intentionally or unintentionally resolve that problem by only drawing on one side, and he just signed his name on the back? That's gotten some people's
good for him.
Yeah, right.
Because honestly, I'm not spending the extra money, $100 for a little like circular round spinny thing. I'm just going to admire that one frickin' side of that Simone piece of art. There was some guy who was really mad in one of the groups, and I'm just like, it's not your card. So I don't know why you're upset about this. This is someone else's card that they pulled, Rob's card. So he's happy with it. He's going to hopefully make some money off of it, you know. But Simone doesn't have to do 2 sides. He's that level of an artist. I mean,
and people, if they see one side with his work on it because it's unmistakable, they could sell it and probably buy 2 more cases and just be happy.
Yeah.
I mean,
a friend of mine pulled a Hulk one by him. My friend Amy.
Yeah.
I mean, she's over the moon. She knows what she got. She knows the value of that card. And yeah, I don't know. I was reading the comments and I was just like, Talk about
so here's a really good here's a really good point in the chat, right? It also forces the artist to move too quickly and rush sketches. Then we get magician sketches like the one Alonzo pulled. I don't know what that sketch looks like.
I need to buy the magician sketch.
The cloak sketch. Yeah,
it gets so much mention. It's like a world famous piece at this point. Like seriously,
it's an urban legend type of sketch now.
It's like, a Banksy, and someone needs to put it through the shredder, right? There you go.
Well, I remember back when I started, there was a UK artist named Darren Chandler.
Oh, yeah.
And people used to give that guy so much grief because he wasn't me, or he wasn't Perna, or he wasn't Axbone. But he was doing like 500 sketches at a time. And then you had like the Star Wars people, for anybody who collected or followed Star Wars cards, you had Howard Shum, who did like literal pencil, like really quick pencil profiles and eyeballs and head sketches. But he was doing 1,000 sketches, so he was filling their numbers for $1 a card. And you never heard him complain or say anything. And the thing was, you know what? If the company hated it, they wouldn't hire him.
Yep.
But at the same time, and I've said this in interviews before, if every single card was a Perna or a Glebe or an Axbone or a me, you would still have cards that you held and go, this one is crap. Look at this. Because they're, it's subjective. It's different to everybody. And listen, for somebody who is just getting into collecting and doesn't know this side of it, getting anything that excites them, good for them, right? Because they don't know this other underside or this whole conversation. I'm really grateful that there are people like Matt who have been collecting and have been on board and have been as involved as they have been. Because I remember the first message I got from him, and he was like, will you do a Savage Oppressed for my son? And I was like, oh my God, I love doing Star Wars. Yes, I will.
To the binder.
And then we didn't talk for years until we ran into each other. Yep, there it is. Until we ran into each other on the Marvel collector boards. And it's like, oh, hey, friend. But then you have people who come into it, and they come into it for the business side of it because they have deep pockets and they just want to trade and profit. You have new artists all the time who are like just so excited, excuse me, to have Marvel on the resume. And then you have us bitter old bitches. We don't get paid enough. I hate everybody. Ah! But I love this. I've always loved this. I'm probably nostalgic because the X-Men was my first project. And I would not have been invited to conventions. I would not be able to do this stuff like, oh, look, now that it's the Rhiannon Owens color picks. Like, this is a legit marker company that, like, I'm in their packaging now. I'm on their website. I'm a brand ambassador. I have a box of free product. I never would have got that if I had never done sketch cards. I almost ran over Ming-Na Wen at the last convention because I was coming down the alleyway in between where they sign and where the green room is from doing a panel. I have a mohawk on, and she steps into it to go to where the food is, and I nearly bulldoze over her because she's like this much shorter.
Oh, she's tiny. Yeah.
She's tiny, but she's so sweet. And she just looked up and she goes, oh. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm glad I saw you. I'm trying to get back to my table. I got a text message, and I said, you probably won't remember this, but someone commissioned me to do a Chun-Li sketch at the last show you were at, and you signed it, and they took a picture of you with it. She goes, oh, I remember. It was beautiful. And I was like, well, I can die now. Ming-Na Wen likes my artwork.
Right.
Who else gets to sit on these, these YouTube channels and these podcasts and nerd out about this? Making new fans, meeting new people. There's somebody who is still steady liking my stuff on Instagram, who has been since we started. Like, never saw that name before.
Love it.
I'm grateful.
That's why we do this. We want people
I'm
to
just tired.
understand. Oh no, it's been a long 3 years, 4 years. Like, I've aged like probably 10 years in the past 3 years, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Health wise, like literally, I'm just like, there's a new pain I didn't have yesterday. Like, oh god,
This is so ridiculous.
It's what cards do to you, dude. I'm 23. Come on.
I was out of town last week. Oh my god! I will cut mine off and make you a wig just for you. I was out of town last week and was staying in an Airbnb that had an upstairs apartment, which is where I was at. I walked up a pair of stairs carrying a suitcase and a pair of heels like a dummy and could not get out of bed the next day because my back was all locked up. Like, all I do is sit. Why am I in pain? This doesn't make sense. And it's like, even as an artist, you have to think about, stretching, circulation, getting up, moving around. Oh, yeah. And then it's like you do something normal that you think isn't going to be an issue. And then you're like, I can't get up. Like, I can't move. My boyfriend literally has to put icy hot on my neck and shoulders before I go to bed. Otherwise, I wake up in the middle of the night with cramps, or I wake up the next day sore. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
For me, I have a riding lawnmower, but it's one of those 0 turns. So I have to crush my legs together. And like, it's a position I normally don't have my body in, crushed together like that. So like the next day I'm like an old man, kind of like gonna make it back to this couch and get up and try to do 5 other things and try to do laundry and just like Dax Shepard. I like money from Idiocracy. Yeah. Yep, Ken.
Matt, I love that I mentioned that Star Wars card and you knew right where it was and you were just like, here it is.
Well, I finally
got
a system binder just for my PSCs and I was working on it yesterday. So it just
okay.
He has a system.
Yeah, because my son moved out and left a whole bunch of his stuff. So I'm like, all right. Well, put it in my binder.
Moved out. How old is your son now?
Oh, my oldest is 23.
Is that who I did that card for?
Yep.
That is insane because I remember they were was it for a birthday?
Yep.
Or was it Christmas?
Yeah, it was probably for like his 13th or 14th, maybe. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Don't even like. I got friends who had kids that I remember going to the hospital to see when they were in the bassinet, picking them up, smiling at them, and then they just got into the Marine Corps. Literally,
it's crazy.
Welcome to Geriatrics After Night.
Yes. Welcome to I found another thing that now hurts. After hours of the Marvel Roundtable.
Listen, at the last show that I set up at, I gave away free art prints to people. I'm like, if you're a massage therapist and you can spare 20 minutes, you can have a free print.
Nice.
I had my neck and my hands and my shoulders. I was golden.
I'll tell you right now.
If I could have made it.
I found the magic bullet for like pain cream. It's a prilocaine lidocaine mix. One of those compounding pharmacies can make. That stuff is amazing. Like I have made sure to stockpile tubes of it, through my insurance. Like basically like near the end of the year, I'm like calling my doctor and being like, I need another prescription of that, and yeah. Oh, well, Josh says he'll you're going to have random strangers coming up to your tables at your conventions asking if they can rub your back.
I'm a massage therapist.
Listen.
Take
it ain't for original art because you don't have the time or the hand strength.
Would you like some mashed potatoes?
I just watched that the other day. I'm going to be the bigger person and walk away. Walk away. Like it. So sassy. I loved it. Takes notes on combo cream. Yeah, you're gonna have to like put the name of that in there so I can go back and be like, what was that stuff he was talking about?
If that one doesn't work, there's another good cream out there. It's called, I think it's a tetrahydrocannabinol. Works really well.
What'd you call me? It's like
tetrahydrocannabinol.
Sound wave.
Some people call it THC.
Hydra Agent, Madam Viper, something and all. Like,
I may be making a marijuana joke there.
I got you, team.
Hemp cream does work too. I've used hemp cream before. Yeah.
So here's a little fun bit of history. Like I tried to draw high once. I don't smoke. I don't drink and I don't smoke. But I have, I draw. But I have friends that have like, here, take a bite of this cookie, or here, have a gummy. And I do have friends that smoke, and every once in a while, if my anxiety's through the roof or I can't sleep, I'm like, give me that. I literally took one hit. It was literally a one hitter, right? And then I was like, oh, I feel fine. I'll draw. I could work. When I tell you it was some Picasso level BS. And I was like, well, there goes that idea. And I'm look, I'm already fat. If I smoked all the time, I would be so round. I would be the new blob. It's bad. So yeah.
I feel your pain.
Yes. So Brittany's currently still the winner at 75 for Rogue. Yeah. I don't think anyone's gonna outbid her because it was just her birthday.
It is. So, yeah, I don't think anybody in chat. Well, but I have another giveaway. Hashtag pay me my money.
Okay.
So why don't we say when you run that one, the auction ends as well.
Okay. So yeah, hashtag pay me my money. I'll put it in the chat again. Now we've got people coming up with new names of different prescription medications that I'm pretty sure that Pfizer's going to steal and probably trademark, and we'll get no money from that.
I have a friend that works for them, so if they do, I'll know.
Okay.
I got your back. Can't confirm or deny talking to my pet fish.
But yeah, another comic book, and also I'm going to be giving away another Ghost Rider and another card, actually an autographed Creators Corner of Kurt Busiek from Marvel.
There's a part of me that wants to be really froggy and like auction an AP. Just to see.
Whatever you want to do. If you want to do that, you know.
Is it pay me money or pay me my money?
Pay me my money.
Pay me my
money. Oh, did I put pay me money? I'm sorry, guys. Oh, let me copy and paste it because I'm an idiot. And it's sleep deprived. There you go. Hashtag pay me my money. In honor of Rhiannon.
Yeah, so I see. Let's see who did that.
It was
Ken. Need to redo it.
Ken and Pep. So Ken and Pep, redo that, please. Sorry, thank you, Ken. Actually, Ken and Pep, it'll all go to the same EPAC account. You have to have an EPAC account too for those just joining us. And like I said, I've got Brittany's queued up to go. I'll send hers at the end because I already know I believe I know what her EPAC is. I think I have it. If not, I'll have to get it from her. But I got the cards pulled up, so that's the main thing.
And Brittany, if you do end up winning, I just need to know what costume you want so that I can draw it in. And I'm familiar with all the rogues because I have this one in front of me. And I have this one in front of me. And I have one of several of these. Like, if I could turn my camera around, there's like a row of, there's Dark Phoenix, Firestar, Jubilee, 8 different storms, Psylocke, Emma, Rogue.
That seems to be a theme with most artists that we've talked to. They enjoy collecting the figures too, as well. Yep, I see them back there. Did you ever watch? Let me add.
Go ahead.
Did you ever? Oh, here we go. The Hellfire Gala one.
Yes. So there are some really, if you're looking for new ideas, just Google the character and Hellfire Gala. They've done this 2 years now, and they've come up with some amazing, like literal, like high fashion costumes.
Yes. I remember the first one, and that first storm costume where basically she had like a shroud of mist, like as like a cape or some kind of gauzy thing behind her. And then the Jean Grey costume from the last one, I was like, okay, we're venturing into ice skater territory with all the sequins. But yeah, with the faces covered and the big hair things and all of it, like, yes. Have there ever been sketch cards with some portion of the art only visible under black light? Yes.
There definitely been glow in the dark ones.
Yes, I have glow in the dark ones actually in my collection.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back in 2009, when they released X-Men Archives, Andy Price painted with mustard. He painted with ketchup. He painted
I have that
with
sketch card.
Yep. Was it a Rachel Gray Phoenix?
Yep.
And it was just, we were having to crank out so many cards that he was just like, I needed markers and couldn't get a refill, so I had to go find what I could, and he painted with food. And
he's at like Whole Foods buying blueberries. Like,
yeah, I mean, sometimes. Listen, the really cool thing about these Olo markers and these other alcohol markers is like I've run out of a Copic and wasn't able to get a refill, and I've got all these extra markers, and it's like, oh, same color, same value, and they all blend together seamlessly. So that's really been a blessing in disguise.
The urban, I don't know if it's true, but like some people say you can actually dip it in hand sanitizer and it'll recharge it some. Yeah, I know. I thought that was crazy too, but I've never tried it. So if you have
an old Copic or something,
like an old Copic, we can go ahead and try to bust this myth tonight. If you want, if you have any hand sanitizer. Oh man, we're gonna do science tonight, guys.
Hold on. I got a whole stack here that need to be refilled or recharged, but some of them have like the really crusty marker nibs. So hold on.
Yeah, they had some guy soaking it in the hand sanitizer, and then he took a paper towel and smeared it off, and then went right back to drawing with it.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I gotta pull my e-pack, see what I have in my inventory. Also, too, actually, so on this giveaway and the previous one, I'm gonna add a full set of #1 spots and Humble Beginnings from Marvel Annual as well. So, Brittany, you're gonna get those, and the next winner is gonna also get that. Also,
you know what? Never mind.
What? Speak your mind. Speak your truth, Fuller. Speak your truth.
On the 5K giveaway I did for MCCW, there was one that had a whole bunch of like those ones that people had like 20 or 30 copies of each of. And someone rejected the giveaway because they didn't want them because they had so many. They're like, yeah, just pass it on.
Give it to somebody else. I mean, that's fine, Oh, so did she say pass anyone to another? All right, I'll find something.
It was coming.
All right, fancy pants. I'll give you another Unbound card. And I'll give it to some random person in like the entertainment.
All right, you know what? You're gonna have to up your offer. Just give her a full set of cyber.
God. All right, let me see what I've got. My lungs are giving out.
Oh my goodness!
I know. I'm dying here.
No dying allowed. Not on my watch.
Something nice, because I like to get back to people. Let's see. Going down.
A couple big cards. A little public service announcement just popped on eBay. The Dave Palumbo Gambit from 22 is there.
I saw that one.
The Fred Ian Professor X from Premiere, the sketch card. Okay,
for this next giveaway, how about I add this to it?
The Fred Ian. Sweet. Okay.
Fred Ian is so nice.
I don't have a Fred Ian. What's wrong with you?
They started following my art page.
It's like a green Gambit from Manual. I mean, not Gambit. Not Gambit. Sorry, wow. Magic. That's not Gambit. But yeah, next person who wins will get an actual annual card they might want.
I'm excited to see those in person.
Me too. I've got a few. I've got a Rogue. I actually have a Rogue because the Rogue is going to look phenomenal with the color match on that one.
So we have debunked the hand sanitizer myth.
We have. Okay.
Now it will reactivate a little bit because it's a wet, it's a wet substance and the alcohol in it probably does mix with the pigment, but it dries right back out because
this is one that's been dry for a while, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe it has to sit in it for a while. So,
I literally poured like a goop of it onto a card. Now this red, the marker was still pretty good, but like this right here,
Mooch.
the marker was like dry as hell, and it dried right back out. So
Myth busted. You heard it here first on the Marvel Roundtable, folks.
Yeah.
Your science fact for the night. Now we need a graphic from Izzy going science fact across the board.
Is Brittany still in the chat?
I think yes, she is. Yeah, she told me that she didn't want the cards I was going to give her for free. So
she hasn't said what rogue she wants.
Oh, you know what rogue is really cool? The Savage Land rogue too.
Did you see the one I did on one of the Mental Con blanks?
I've seen it.
That was the first Savage Land rogue I ever drew.
Yep. I have seen the Savage Land one.
How many entries do we have?
We have 13. Let's get to 15.
How many do we have viewing right now?
18.
18 right now.
Somebody else. Put it in. Hashtag pay me my money.
Pay me my money.
Either put it in or we're going to go to puppets and goats. There we go.
So I did find a couple things earlier while I was looking for stuff, because we were talking about maybe drawing live or doing. I love the screaming goat. Do it. Those screaming goats were my favorite part of Love and Thunder. Just make sure she has the brown jacket on. Rest up to you. Oh, honey.
Oh, no.
You got it. She just needs the bomber jacket. The rest is up to me. I got you, Brittany. Thank you.
I think if it's Funko, they're big. Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, one of the things I found earlier was a Marvel Masterpieces AP.
Oops.
Which I thought I was completely out of those, but it turns out I have one left, which is the most recent Marvel Masterpieces with the lovely little squiggly line. And then not signed because I haven't drawn anything on it, 2022. And then it's got the AP stamp. So I found that. Oh, you got this. The goat boat, they call it.
So cool.
This was actually free from Disney with my movie reward points.
Really?
That's cool. That was one of those things that popped up and it was sold out within probably 5 minutes. And then also I love Korg. Korg is one of my favorite characters.
There are days when I am totally Korg. Hey guys.
Oh, that guy's back again. Noob Master 69.
Jeez, you got a voices, man.
But then I also found this.
Uh-oh.
Elmo would like outlawed characters on that, please.
So, yeah, I got some things to move.
Gambit punching Johnny Storm, punching the Thing, punching Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm on a lawn chair, watching them beat the shit out of each other.
No Fantastic Four.
That was oddly specific.
No one needs to know. Private collection. Promise never to share. 5 minutes later, on Instagram, tagging Marvel, tagging everybody, showing everybody. Elmo not know how to follow rules.
Sorry, Matt.
I think we just solved the mystery of who Max Attacks really is.
No.
It's Elmo.
Yeah, no, not Elmo. Yeah, well, actually, it may be Elmo. You never know, but not the guy behind the up the butt, thing there, puppet.
Wow.
Anyway. Oh yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
All right, so why don't we
let's go ahead and run the
drawing,
giveaway,
and then that'll be the official end of the auction as well. And then, or if you want to do something with one of the APs, we can kick into that.
Trying to find the giveaway tool again.
I'm going to use my hand sanitizer just because I got it out. I feel so fresh and so clean.
I use hand sanitizer after I wrestle with my dogs to see if they scratch me. And I just put some of that on. If I go, oh,
yeah, that's not good.
It's kind of a painful way to find out, you sadist, masochist, whatever, whichever was it. Never mind. I'm shutting up now.
It's one of those.
Oh, hey, you want to see something cool? Since you brought it up earlier.
I was going to say, wait, we're segueing from sadist to this? Oh, boy.
I'm just drawing it.
There
All right,
you
good luck. Josh. Well, it's only fitting that he won. I won his Tony Perna giveaway, and he's not here. So, congrats, man! You get that lovely magic card and a few other cards from me and a Kurt Busiek.
Officially, congrats to Brittany.
Yes,
the official winner.
Congrats, Brittany, and your brown bomber jacket. You brought it up earlier, and I forgot I had it right by me.
Oh, look at that! That's phenomenal. God, that's beautiful.
It was an excuse to draw a panther. I just really wanted to draw an animal. And then I was like, oh, I'll put another Black Panther behind it.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say no more.
Yeah. I have so many APs, it's ridiculous.
Do you have any open APs right now? If people want to reach out to you to get an AP piece done?
Well, all I'm going to be doing, so this week I'm wrapping up a project for Upper Deck. And then pretty much all I'm doing for the rest of the year is just cards and APs. So, I mean, anybody can reach out to me and say, hey, because I have a lot of them, and it's not that I hoard them. It's just
you're waiting on approval. Yeah.
Well, I'm waiting on approval for so many, but then I don't want to just, not have any if people ever try to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Why won't this go in my? Why are you being so difficult, Black Panther? Wakanda forever, get in there. Wakanda, get in the folder. I have two of the new Premiere, which Matt and I just negotiated one a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. I have two left from Premiere 2019.
Oh, wow.
I have Marvel Beginnings, which just came out a month or two ago. And then I have some really old ones. I have Marvel Now from 2017, 2018. I have one Deadpool from 2018 where you could actually get Deadpool on it. I have Iron Man 3, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Thor, The Dark World. And here's what's funny. I think people stay away from the movie sketches because I think you have to just draw who was in the movie. You can draw whoever you want. And Josh said, how much are your sketchbooks again? My sketchbooks are 20, or if you want to sketch in it, they're 30.
That's a deal.
And there's an AP book, and there's an all cards book.
And you have a con appearance coming up on the 3rd, I think, in December of
yes.
GalaxyCon in Columbus, Ohio.
I will be at GalaxyCon Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be December 1st through the 3rd. I will also be at GalaxyCon Richmond next March, which is the 15th or the 17th or something like that. Then I'll be at GalaxyCon Raleigh. And I did GalaxyCon Austin this year, but I don't think they're doing GalaxyCon Austin next year. So I'll be at Pensacon in February, which is in Pensacola, Florida. I did their badge art this year. That was a lot of fun. I will be at Heroes in Charlotte, North Carolina next year. I am confirmed for Heroes. Nice. Even if I don't have a table, which I did submit an application, so I'm waiting to hear back. But even if I don't have a table, I will be volunteering at the Hero Initiative booth, which is a really great cause. They raise money for comic creators who are older and not working as much, like in the event that they have an accident or they need medical assistance. Then I will be going to Dragon Con Labor Day weekend, since they're not doing GalaxyCon Austin this year, which was Labor Day, or next year, which was Labor Day. I will be going to Dragon Con, but I will only be going to Dragon Con as a fan. I won't be set up. But if you want to negotiate something for me to bring to you to pick up at the show, that's also possible. So just reach out to me on my socials.
Yeah, Serena, Brittany just needs to know how you pay you. You can reach out to her on Instagram. We have a link in the description. If you want to message
a brown paper bag, put it behind the bench at the park.
I need all $2 bills from the Federal Depository in Kentucky, please.
Yeah. I had a business card so I could be like, look, here's my information. And then I lost it.
It's okay. She can, Brittany, like I said, in the description of the video we have here is her socials with links. You can just click on that and go right to her. And
I'm stupid. It's right on the back of the card.
It's on the card. Yeah. Well, we have a link to that, to the Instagram. So
I like words.
Oh, got a weird cold chill in my back. That was weird. Ooh. Somebody walked over my grave in the future. But yeah,
Don't know what you're talking about.
Stop, Matt. You're writing in the Death Note book like my name. Please don't do that. Oh, I don't have a list of music you listen to, but I saw something interesting today, Rhiannon. Tool is actually playing the Gulf Coast Coliseum.
Yes, a friend of mine asked if I was going to be going to that.
I was shocked.
And interestingly enough, I'm not. And the only reason why is because I will probably be sitting right here complaining about my back. And being in pain again. But my boyfriend is a huge Tool Devil Driver, and I think there's Pantera and one other band are his favorite.
Okay.
But we spoke about this during MentalCon. 6-time war veteran, crowds are a no-go.
Yeah.
But he's actually leaving to go overseas back to work Sunday. So someone's like, hey, did you and your guy know that Tool's coming to literally to the coast? Because they were in Mobile a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And some friends of ours went and they were like, you guys should go. And I was like, just like Stevie Nicks is coming to New Orleans in February, but it will be when I'm at Pensacon. And then she'll be in Mobile, but I'll be out of town for that too. So
So does this love of Tool cross over to a Perfect Circle?
Yes.
Or is it, okay.
Oh yeah.
Maynard, it's Maynard. Is the
Perfect Circle and Pussifer and Primus are touring together. So Maynard's doing double duty and playing in both of those bands. And then Primus is playing as well. So that's going to be, that's what I would like to go to, honestly. But I'm same issue. Huh?
You're pushing my memory here. Les Claypool is the bass player, right? Yeah.
Jerry was a race car driver,
right?
Yeah, he loves them too.
God, what a flashback.
I'm just going to start playing Beavis and Butthead videos in the background so we can all start having those flashbacks.
Wow,
Brittany,
check out that guy on the tube.
Brittany, I'm currently on my Instagram. So if you want to message me on Instagram, I can shoot you that information.
I just
I'm literally
giving Matt a borderline aneurysm from all the voices I do sometimes.
It's just so many different the references. It's literally like whiplash from all these references.
I'm sorry, but yeah, Brittany. Like I said, link in the video directly to her Instagram. If you click on that, you can message her there. So, and don't forget, hey, anybody who's watching, go give Rihanna a follow. Exactly. Go to Instagram, check out her work. It's amazing. I mean, it goes back quite a way, so you can check out all her artwork. And if you're interested in getting an AP, reach out to her.
Look, dude, I can actually show you. Ooh, this is old. 2009 and 2008, JLA Archives. And then this was my first Star Wars project, was the Clone Wars Season 2 Wide Vision, Season 1 Wide Vision. And then, where is it? Over here, X-Men Archives.
For Colossus.
December 4th, I credit as like my official anniversary because that was when I got the email. But the first set I did, which was X-Men Archives or X-Men Origins Wolverine, that didn't come out until, was it February 2009?
Yep. Early.
Something like that.
I bought my house back then.
This, I
Ooh,
pull this
freeze
card
the
out every chance I get.
I
But
know
this one, yes, this one started it all. This was my first sketchbook. It's in black and white, and I don't have any copies of it. That one did actually sell out, but this one,
wow,
it's the box art.
and I have the original card.
For now,
Mr.
I
Fuller.
shall pry it from you one day.
Do you know how much money you would need to come off of?
I just got this image of Matt like Mission Impossible harness, like
exactly.
over the bed, trying to like sway his way over to the bookshelf.
Could you imagine? I can barely handle a rolling chair. How would that go? It'd just be a video of me face planting over and over.
Hold on. Where are you? You're in here somewhere. Because you know, I look at this thing. So this is fun. Let's talk about how horrible my art used to be. This was the very first sketch card I ever drew for Rittenhouse Archives ever.
Official or a promo?
Official.
All right.
Ooh, I like that.
Hold on. There's a big glare. Oh no, hold on.
We can see.
It's screwed in the case, so it's.
Oh,
you managed to
yeah,
get
you got it. You got it. It's right there. Yeah.
So yeah, someone back on the Scoundrel boards, back when we used to look out for one another, they were like, "Hey, so I saw that you wanted that card back," and just because I'm sentimental, I'm so ridiculous like that, like, oh, nostalgia. And they actually a dealer got it in a box, and they were like, here's your card. Do you still want it? And I was like, oh my god, yes. And then 501 Blues was his name. I think it was Curtis. Was that his name? Curtis is who helped me get this one back. This is my baby. And I will take it out of the.
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
History. But here's what's cool about this card. So it was on the box art. It was also on the back of every promo. Right there. It was in the Previews magazine full page ad for the card set. It was in 7 Marvel comics in a color ad. It was in, and then it was in like 2 or 3 other magazine articles that came out like years after the set was released. And what was cool about it was it wasn't even like a non-sport card. It was just like a card magazine. And there was an article, and I think Robert spoke to them, and he had put a couple of our cards in it, and this was in it. And when I opened that magazine, I was like, oh my God, this card is still in the magazine. It's like been 5 years. So this card has been on the box, in the ads, in magazines, on the promo cards, all the things. And it has sat in this top loader for the last... Curtis got it back to me in 2011. So I've had this card in my possession for 12 years. But the project came out in 2009. So this card, and here's what, look, OCD, ADHD, anxiety, yay, hypervigilance. I drew this card on December 8th. I got my card so quick after I accepted that invitation, like literally in 2 days. And this was the 8th card I drew on December 8th, and I remember that because my mother was visiting for the holidays. So, yeah, this was one of the first 10 sketches, but this one has been, like, everywhere. So, you're going to have to mortgage your house if you want to buy this card.
or sell the left side of that table over there. It's a beautiful card. Yeah.
But I mean, if I were going to sell it to anybody, Matt would be one of those people because look at all that stuff behind him. I can see that Dave Palumbo X23 in a frame behind you.
No, you can't.
I saw it when you got up earlier. So marvelous cards. I need to get more Rhiannon Storms in my life. Well, listen, I got all these APs sitting here. How many do you think you need?
There you go.
Because I also have a box of blank PSCs that are much more affordable, and I have about 2,000 of them left. Please, by all means, reach out to me.
And I'm just going to say this too: like a lot of people are very hesitant to reach out to artists because they're afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to reach out to an artist whose work you love, because I'm sure they do appreciate people messaging saying, "Hey, look, I'm not in the market for buying anything right now, but in the future I will be. You know, I just wanted to tell you I really appreciate your work." You know, that's all it takes. I mean, they're people just like us. I mean, they and like I said, don't be afraid to message somebody. You know, I mean, lifelong friendships are made just by a simple message with a lot of people.
Seriously, just because they're lizard people doesn't mean you shouldn't reach out to them.
Just because they breathe through their eyelids doesn't mean that they aren't carrying emotional sentient beings. So, but
I'm counting how many Rhiannon Storms I have now. I'm curious.
Not enough.
Not enough. The answer is never enough. Just like Robert Smith from The Cure says, it's never enough.
Or that annoying song from, what is it, The Greatest Showman? Never
enough. My wife loves that movie. She's
I've never
on
seen
the
it
couch right now. Oh, well. If you want, I can sing it for you right now for the next 2.5 hours, and then you can.
I would love you more if you didn't.
I won't. I think I need another because I have 13, and that doesn't feel good.
He needs even 14.
Seriously.
Okay.
Or grade one. All right. So, random question. I already do this a certain way, and I only asked 2 people back in the day when I decided this. But as I was so Cursat double panel sketch. When I count how many sketches I have, is this 1 or 2? How do you count a puzzle?
I count a puzzle if they can stand alone. If each piece can stand alone, then it's a separate card.
Okay.
If the whole image cannot stand alone by itself and you need all 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then it's 1.
You picked the most complicated answer.
So I have a greatest battles, Cyclops versus Deadpool, where Deadpool is actually, and it's obvious that he actually did cut through Scott Summers' brain pan because there's a blood trail off the sword. So that is counted as 1 sketch.
Yeah.
Those greatest battle sketches do not count as 2 sketches. Those are 1 sketches because it tells a story. And I think the thing is you have to look at the sketch as, does this tell a story with just one sketch? If the other sketch complements that sketch to where it tells a story, then it's 1 sketch. Is my
I count them all as even a 9-card puzzle. I count as 1. So
that's
sort of
me too.
But I was curious. But of course, my OCD, I also keep track of how many of each size puzzle I have. So I also know how many individual cards I have, because why not? You know.
What really sucks is on ComC, they count some of those puzzle sketches as 1 piece, as 1 card. So the sellers will sell them individual prices, and they'll make sure that 1 card is more expensive than the other card. So if you buy the cheaper card, then you're committed to buy the other card in hopes that nobody else buys the card. It's dirty.
Yeah.
Now, you want to know what's dirty? Is when an artist will do like an even number puzzle or a 9, like for a 1-pager, like a 9-card puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
But one of those images is an AP that you have to buy directly from them to finish the puzzle.
Oh, wow. I don't even recall I've ever seen one of those. What you must have someone in mind. I'm assuming you don't want to call. We'll talk in the after party.
We'll talk at the after party.
Really?
We're almost done. We've been talking for almost 2.5 hours here. So
we could talk all day.
Talk all night. Yeah, I'm actually on night shift hours right now. So Matt, you can skip work tomorrow. I gave you permission.
So Marvelous Cards, Nostalgic Vibes, and Collectibles. Do I know who that is? Because I can't tell from just the avatar and the name.
It's Ken. I don't know if he's in any of the groups.
Or is it Ken?
It's Ken.
I always get there's two very similar Marvel names that I always get mixed up.
Gotcha. Well, Ken, Marvelous Cards, Nostalgic Vibes, and Collectibles. If you need another storm, you let me know, because I'm literally sitting here next to a stack of like 30 APs. And Matt, if you need another storm to get that cursed 13 out of your collection, I'm right here. You just have to look at your collection and tell me what costume you don't have yet.
Yeah, right. My favorite is Vampire Storm.
I have never drawn. Actually, I've drawn her once. I have drawn Vampire Storm once, and that was on the Women of Marvel 4-card puzzle incentives. And you just see her face because it's like AOA Storm, and then there's like the Genie Storm from Kitty's Bedtime Story, and Asgardian Storm. And then in the background, you just see her face with a little bit of blood.
See, no,
that is the only card I've ever drawn Bloodstorm on. I've never drawn Vampire Storm on any other card.
Oh, I'm going to test your memory here. Yeah, let me share screen.
Wait a minute. Did I? Hold on. No, I don't remember anything.
Heroes and Villains.
Oh, with Dracula?
Yep.
That's not the same Storm, though. That's actual 616 Storm bitten by Dracula. Vampire Storm, who is Bloodstorm, is from another reality. And I've only drawn on one.
Dude. Wow.
Matt just got.
All right, then. Well, I've still got Vampire Storm, so.
That version of Storm is from X-Men Annual 8. 8 or 9.
Dang.
With Bill Sienkiewicz did the artwork.
Okay.
And she's in a yellow dress through most of it. But yeah, the Bloodstorm that I'm talking about, if you hold on, I'll bring it up real quick before everybody goes. This will be like the send-off, I guess. And the reason why I didn't is because that was around the time, Disney got the license, right? I think it was right after or during Spider-Man Archives, and they were like, no blood, no gore, no excess this. So I was like, well, crap.
Boo.
Okay, I guess I'll never draw that.
You should have her with a ketchup bottle, like sitting on the table off to the side. And she ate chicken nuggies.
I love chicken nuggets. There were a couple times that we wanted to draw ketchup, but we were afraid that Andy would get upset, like we were poking fun at him for painting with it. So we didn't. Where is that folder? Women of Marvel.
It's called an homage.
Exactly.
I mean, yes.
Yes.
There it is. Okay, hold on. Where are you? There you are. This is the only time I have drawn the Vampire Storm you reference, and this is on that Women of Marvel card.
Right, so you see the arm from someone else.
Yeah, so there's a glare, of course, but yeah. So this is the Genie Storm from Kitty's Bedtime Story, and then AOA Storm is up the main figure, and then Asgardian Storm, and then that is the only Bloodstorm I've ever drawn. She's got the red vampire eyes and everything. And I don't know who has this card. I don't know if it was ever found or if anyone ever got it. And I tell you what, I was so mad. I wanted uncut 4-card APs so badly. And Robert was like, no, we just printed them like the rest of them. Because I would have gone crazy. Ken, message me on Instagram. Let's talk business. Brittany has already messaged me. So we're good. And I did get a hit. Brittany, you're confirmed. Thank you so much. And I got a hit for an AP. So thanks, guys. It's been a good night.
That's what we want to do. Like I said, we just want artists to be able to get more work,
Look, I'll come on here with Matt anytime and just BS about cards. I don't have to make money. I love just talking the hobby and geeking out over, all the things. Matt and I should probably have an X-Men off at one point.
Oh, I can't keep my storm straight. So,
yeah.
I don't know everything about every character, but Storm, I'm pretty solid on, just because I love her so much. Thank you, Brittany. I will make sure I get this done, and I will send you pictures through Instagram so you can see it. I appreciate you, and happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday too. Sorry I missed that, but happy belated birthday, Brittany. So everybody,
are you also 23?
Yes, everybody's perpetual 23.
I'm 45.
I'm 23 for the 29th time.
I turned 45 in July. That's why I have this bright light on my face, so you can't see any of my flaws. It's all about the lighting.
Mine's off to the side. That's why I keep the brim on, because there's so many wrinkles on this forehead. All right, everybody in chat. Hey, we really appreciate you guys sticking it out with us, and we really appreciate Rhiannon coming on and sharing her stories and sharing her work with us. Like I said, I'm gonna say this right now, without the artists, the cards and the comics do not exist. With all this talk of AI art coming up and people sharing all their AI art Instagram accounts, please don't share any AI art with me. I'm not a fan of it.
Same.
If you enjoy it, hey, that's fine. That's your gig. But for something that possibly could put people out of work, I don't want to see it. I don't want to contribute to it. And same thing with writing. That's why a lot of people right now are fighting in Hollywood. And a lot of artists are going to be fighting too. Like a lot of animation studios are fighting too, because they don't want to be replaced by a computer that has no soul. Let's just put it that way. So, sorry, I don't want to end on a gloomy note. I do want to stay positive, but like I said, I just had to get that out there because that's one thing that I really am kind of aggravated with right now. But hey, everybody, thank you. Thank you, Studio Zoo. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Pep. Thank you, Kellen. Thank you, all you guys. We really appreciate you guys coming and joining us on Wednesday nights. And I'm hoping I'm going to go ahead and stick with my pre-order of anime. So I'll hopefully have 4 boxes coming in. They normally ship it on Monday and sometimes get here Wednesday afternoon. So I might have some cards to open up on Wednesday. So fingers crossed, we'll have some anime to open up.
I've got 1 box coming, so I'd crack it with you if that happens.
Okay. Yeah.
It's my first anime project, and I did 56 sketches.
Nice.
I would love to pull one of your sketches from anime. Did you stylize it like anime style? You did?
Yeah, after you stop recording, I'll show you.
Nice.
Well, it's gonna be fun. So
to everyone in the chat,
suckers. No, we're joking. You'll see it eventually. Like I said, once the set releases, you'll start seeing some great artwork come out from a lot of our favorite artists. So, thank you, everybody. Hope you have a great night, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.